morning, everyone. I'm Lana from Studio Noel, and today I'm thrilled to be in conversation with Karina from the Quick Brown Fox video production, an award-winning team of video specialists. Karina is director and co-founder, and she is amazing at taking clients right from the beginning. So that's from script production right through into those final stages where you're posting videos to website and social media and guiding you through that whole process. With a background in architecture and project management, she has a keen eye for detail, and that's creatively as well as organizationally, and essentially she just knows how to get a job done well. So we're talking to Karina today as the intersection between brand content and video is only getting bigger and bigger, as clients and customers are really looking for brands to be these living, breathing, feeling entities that they can align themselves with. So video is a really immersive way to bring your brand story to life, and it's going to be a really rich ground for conversation. So I'm very excited to get started. So without further ado, welcome, Karina.
Thank you, Lana. That's quite the intro. Thank you so much. Very happy to be here today. I think we've been talking about this chat for a while, and yeah, finally found a date and the time, and yeah, let's make it happen.
Brilliant. So if you're all right, I will dive into the questions then. So
yep.
It'd be really interesting to know from your perspective, how important have you found video content for your own business? So starting off with you, and then also within that, kind of what challenges have you faced creating that video content as well?
That's a super question. Especially, I mean, we are a video production company. So that's it, video. We live and breathe video day in, day out. That's what we do. So yeah, video is key. It's key for our own sort of promotional purposes. It's key for us to reach the sort of right kind of client. It's key for us to show off what we can do. It's everything. I mean, everything that we put out, it's video. We rarely do, you know, massive chunks of copy or even stills. We will do the old stills here and there to kind of like, you know, get the conversation going, but mostly what we put out all the time is video. We find our clients like to see behind the scenes stuff, learn how things get done. That seems to be like really engaging for the people that follow us on socials, and you know, even for clients inquiring, they like to see, yeah, but how did you get from A to B? And for us, it's amazing because it's super fun, really, to show how to get it done. And as for the second part of the question, what's challenging? You know the saying, the cobbler's children have no shoes. It very much applies. It's time, really. It's what it is, because we find that we invest time creating videos for clients, strategizing for or with clients, and we barely have any chance to do it for ourselves. So I feel that sometimes the stuff that we put out, it's, you know, we could have maybe, I think, oh, we should have thought about that better. We should have given it a bit more context. We could have, you know, have a clearer strategy behind it. So those are the struggles for us, because we have the crew, obviously, we have the equipment, we have the location. God knows we have stuff to talk about, but it's the time.
Yes.
It's the time, because when it's to do it right, it can be a little bit time consuming. So it's good to have a plan and say, okay, this is what I want to achieve. This is how I'm going to do it. Here it is. It's going to take me a week to, you know, create however many pieces of content.
Yeah.
Giving ourselves a deadline, I suppose, to,
Yeah, deadlines are always essential. And I think that's like that one of those classic challenges. We come across it as well as with our own, say, like branding. It's always kind of regrettably one of the last things on the list sometimes.
Yeah.
With that, do you have any kind of, and when we're creating video content, especially for like our socials and stuff, is definitely the hardest part. So do you have any like tips on how to make that as smooth a process as possible? Like any kind of like little nuggets of sort of, oh, we found this works really well to sort of actually make it happen.
Yeah. So it's a bit like prepping to create a blog or a series of blogs. Make a list of topics, and it doesn't have to be 365 topics. You don't need a different idea for each day of the year. You just need 12 ideas or 15 ideas, and you can rework them. And some of them can have you as the business owner as the face of the video. Some of them can be based around the behind scene process, so you show what you do for your clients. I mean, you can go on ChatGPT and create a list, generate a list of ideas for content. But essentially, just get started. It will not be perfect. You will have, you will suffer from imposter syndrome. You say, oh, it doesn't look like this. The lighting is not that. The sound is not. But you will have done it, and you will have something to show. Whereas if you don't start, well, it's never going to happen. Yeah. Again, it's the deadline thing. Just set yourself, okay, by the end of this week, I will have XYZ content ready, and it's out. And then you can see how it performs. Once you've seen that, then you can concentrate on doing more of what works best. So that would be my top tip. Just get started.
Get started, and then like process of refinement from there, sort of see what works. That's really
exactly that saying better done than perfect applies here 100%. Because it gives you a starting point. And on practical terms, my partner Victor, he always likes to tell people, start with your mobile, film with your mobile, practice. First thing to do, wipe the lens. And it's actually quite so, because we're always touching our phones.
Yeah, of course.
And the difference between filming or taking a photo with a clean lens or with a lens that has been kind of like
it's got
quite a lot, it's massive. We actually have a series of very short videos on YouTube. It's like our 8 top tips to film with your mobile, and they're quite evergreen. Like, it doesn't matter which mobile you have, or if you have the latest operative system. No, it's actually quite practical tips to get you started on filming or taking photos with your mobile. I'll share them with you.
Amazing. Yes. Yeah, that'd be great. And if we can we'll get the links and make sure everyone's got those as well.
Yeah.
But I think and having that kind of sense of what your content, that evergreen content is for you, I think is a really good way to sort of refine those ideas and make sure that you're like, if you're spending all this time on video, then make sure it's worth it and it's going to be there for a while, and like you can keep using it. Exactly. Those are brilliant. Thank you, Karina. So what would your top 3 tips for a brand? And I think maybe this crosses over slightly with what we were talking before. I think top 3 tips for a brand just diving into the world of video content.
I think, how we are all, to a degree, overwhelmed with the amount of content being put out on social media day in, day out. And we are all guilty of, looking at our competitors and going, oh gosh, so and so is doing this. Oh, look, it looks amazing. Why are we not doing this? Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. Do your own thing. Get started. Don't think that you're gonna be, have a massive strategy. Just start with short, simple videos that resonate with yourself and with your audience, that will give them value, really. I think that's really important. And on that note, be yourself. Don't try and kind of like emulate others or jump on trends just for the sake of jumping on trends. Make sure that it resonates with your company values, with your mission, with your ethos. And jump on those trends that really, really resonate, not just for the sake of, oh, because everyone is doing it. And then, as we were saying before, you've invested all this time, all this effort, all these sort of tools, all these resources in creating content, and now it's out there. Promote it, use it, shout about it. Don't just post and leave it. I think the average lifespan of a piece of video on the various different platforms is actually quite short, like ridiculously short. So just reuse it, repost it, create alternative types of content from those same videos, and don't be afraid of repeating yourself. Remember that the number of people watching or looking or reading your content, it's very, very small in comparison with your sort of overall following or your overall audience. So it won't necessarily be the same people looking at the same content. So yeah, get started, even if it's really small. Be yourself and shout about it.
Great. Yes, especially that shout about it. I think that one's really key. And so with video, that's so flexible in terms of being able to like create snippets from it, or maybe moving into, we do a lot of stuff on accessibility, of course, and always talk about how great video can be for putting it into blog articles as well. So people have multiple ways to kind of tap into that content, and right, they're not going to see it all, but it's not going to seem like repetition to everyone. So
there is one thing that I think I was keen to talk about, is that in this whole repurposing content thing, right now it's really I don't know what's the word, rewarded in terms of the social media algorithms. It's hugely rewarded, these sort of very short loops, very short reels, if you like. So have a look and see how the content that you already have can be cut into tiny 6, 7, 8 seconds moving image, and and maybe it has, I don't know, text on top, some kind of graphic, something, maybe it's a hugely valuable tip that you give to your clients. Just put it out there with a very, very short video, see how that performs. That's a trend that I think it's worth jumping on. The reach that you might get from that type of content, I think, can be quite high at the moment. Sort of valuable tips embedded in short reels, short loops kind of thing.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely. I feel that we do sort of some filming ourselves, and it always ends up kind of like minutes long, and you're like, oh, I've waffled on too long. How can I make this shorter? That kind of getting things concise is hard sometimes, but definitely very important.
It's trickier to make shorter clips, but it gets much better reach, much better engagement. And on that, I think it's worth, because I suppose we all think first, oh, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. That is one place that it has a lot of traction, or it can have a lot of traction. It kind of like has better reach in terms of SEO and Google search, and on ranking your website in searches. YouTube Shorts. And crucially, I was reading a report last week. It was published by Business Insider, in terms of how the younger generations trust the content that coming from TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. YouTube is actually ranking higher than any of the other platforms in terms of the content being trustworthy.
Interesting.
I too thought it was very interesting. I'll find the report and I'll share it with you guys, because I think it's quite relevant to what you guys do as well in terms of branding and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. That's really interesting to see what they kind of use the platforms for, I'm assuming, and kind of like how that makes a sort of habit of how you think about what platforms are actually for. So given the rise of AI in content creation, have you started to leverage this at all? And if you have, how have you started using it?
Yeah, we are actually quite excited about AI in the studio. And I think we've seen it, I think, mostly in three areas, I suppose. I think we touched on it very lightly at the beginning. Coming up with ideas for video content with the right prompt. If you go on ChatGPT or Bard, you can get a whole calendar, for the week or the month or the year, if you like, of video ideas. You just need to feed it. You need to learn how to prompt the AI. It can be based on what you do, who your audience is. You can give the AI examples of what you've already published. You can ask the AI to act as a social media strategist and give you ideas for, what kind of content could you be putting out there. That's definitely quite prevalent, and it's actually very easy for anyone to kind of like, have a go on that. Then a level up, I would say, in terms of writing a script. We've all had the fear of the blank page, right? I have my list of ideas. What do I say now? What do I do? How can I say this? AI is your friend. Again, it takes practice to learn how to prompt properly. Once you get the hang of it, it's amazing. And I think at the moment, both ChatGPT and Bard, they give you a draft, and it also offers several different options for each draft that it gives you. So already you have 3 slightly different versions of the same thing, and you can pick and choose, copy and paste. It's amazing. Honestly, it's mind blowing. And then another level up for AI, using AI with video content, editing. The actual editing. I mean, that's not my thing. From the beginning of this video production adventure, I said, I'm not going to learn how to edit. But obviously the guys show me what they can do nowadays. And, honestly, from cleaning up audio, removing kind of like background noises or making a voice clearer, or I don't know the technical terms, but just fixing audio with AI. I won't say, it's mind blowing. I mean, the difference it can make, it's huge. Selecting a specific type of footage from a huge bank of data or from a library, you can get the AI to search for footage that looks specifically like what you want, whether that's from your server, from, years and years of footage that you've shot, or whether that's from stock.
That's wild in terms of the amount of time looking through stock can take just to find that like perfect one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, there's transitions that you can add using AI. Obviously, backgrounds. You can generate fake. I mean, you can obviously do a whole video using just AI, but you can combine real life filming with AI generated backgrounds, AI generated objects. Anything I think you can think of, can be done using AI tools. Yeah, it's fantastic. That's why we're so excited about it, and I think it's really important because I think AI is the third shift in terms of content creation and how we consume content as well. We had obviously the internet. Thank you very much. Then mobile phones, massive shift, and now it's AI. So yeah, don't be scared.
It's hard. Sometimes it feels it's quite overwhelming, but I think
it can be overwhelming, but it's fantastic. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I think how accessible it makes so many different things, just to be able to play with it. And like you said, sort of using things like ChatGPT as a springboard, just to be like, okay, I want something like this, and kind of like you quickly sort of hash something out, and then you go into the refining, putting it into your own kind of tone of voice and personality, and it just sort of gets rid of, like you said, blank page syndrome, which is always the hardest thing.
Yeah. It gives you a kickstart, which is always good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I think my last question is all about, we obviously know video is super important on social media, and it grabs attention of audiences and is super engaging. But I think what's really interesting is sort of what is it that is making it kind of that attention grabbing, that engaging? Why are people so into video? And why is it sort of leading the way in terms of content?
This is my personal view. And I think it's to do, so I think for the last, I don't know, 12, 15 years, video has been growing and growing and growing, and there's no stopping it. You know, whenever at the end, in the last quarter of the year, when you ask strategists, you know, what trend are you seeing? Well, over the last 12 years, or they all say, oh, video, 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 video. Great, amazing. And then, you know, 3-4 years ago, we went through a lot as a species, I think, and we're still going through it. And I think video had another massive jump in the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years. Again, this is my personal view. I think it's connected. So with video, we have been able to feel closer to, you know, people that are not necessarily in our area or in our network. We have been able to see, you know, stuff happening around us that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to. We have been able to learn new skills with video. We get our news on video. We talk to our friends and family on video. We update each other on video. It's just there, I think, and I think it's there to stay.
I think you've made a really good connection there that sort of, really sort of feels quite clear. And I think you can feel it like, even in the fact that we're having like this kind of like, how many video meetings do you have at work now? It's kind of constant. And before it really wasn't. And so even though that's not necessarily kind of like a produced thing, it's just giving us that kind of like familiarity with like being on camera or expecting other people to be on camera and sort of talk more fluidly, and that kind of sense of connection as well.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, it could have been yesterday for all I care, you know, trying to offer the clients, you know, should we try a video call? And most people, again, pre-2020 would be like, no, let's have a chat, it's fine, emails, it's okay. And then suddenly it's the expected way, you know, you are logging onto a call and they will see you and you will see them. So everything, it now starts with video, and we are decanting it into snippets, text, quotes, imagery, you know, still imagery, but it starts with video. So that's very, it's been an interesting evolution to see.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Karina. That's been really insightful. So thank you for sharing your expertise with us today. And I'm sure our audience has gained a lot of takeaways from that. I've been sort of like noting things down and going to get back to things, especially on that video, how to get started. So if you'd like to connect with the Quick Brown Fox video production and Karina, or learn more about their expertise, check out the links in the description below. Yes, and have a good day.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lana. Thank you for having me.